Hi, this is Jeffrey Kurt Financial Group. Today is Tuesday, May 26, 2026, the first trading day of the last week of May. And we come into this with 8 consecutive weekly gains for the S&P 500. Just remarkable. And on the NASDAQ, it's only 7 out of 8. And on the Russell, it's actually 8 out of 9. So last week, all the major indexes were up. We'll post a table here. The Russell led the way last week. NASDAQ slightly beating the Russell year to date. The Dow kind of lagging year to date, but up 5%. So one thing I wanted to circle back on was the Nvidia earnings. One of the things that I read at last week and over the weekend was that there was just so much bullish positioning and euphoria going into Nvidia's earnings through dealer positioning and trader positioning, through call options and other leverage bets. There was just so much optimism about what the numbers were going to be. And even though, as I did on the Friday video, talk about how great the numbers were, it's just, I think, some unwinding of these positions. And, the stock is down again today. I'm doing this early afternoon on Tuesday. Been a busy morning already. And, stock's down again. So, at some point, though, I think it's stabilized, especially with the market doing so well, that Nvidia, it's hard for me to believe that it could continue this counter trend move, but perhaps, who knows? It is a difficult market. And let me end with some of the evidence of that. Only 37% of the large cap mutual funds are beating their index. I'm sorry, I said 37%. It's only 30%. 37% is the average going back to 2007. So again, the mutual fund business, very tough. The hedge fund business equally as tough. And they're only showing 7% year-to-date gains at this point, really trailing the NASDAQ and Russell. Again, a hedge fund might be doing shorts too. It's Goldman Sachs Prime Brokerage Services compiles the data, and it's hard to know exactly what the strategies are and the goals of the various hedge funds. But again, hedge funds appear to be underperforming. Large cap mutual funds underperforming their benchmarks. And it goes on to show you how difficult this is. I think a lot of the investment strategies been really caught off guard with this 2-month rally, especially in the light and in the face of headlines out of the Middle East. But I think, again, the investment and the AI build out is really fueling the economy and the stock market, and that's, I think, being missed by many in terms of their focus on headlines that may be not that important. Like over the weekend, oil's down 5% or so today on potential news of a settlement, and that's also fueling the stock market move, and bond yields coming down too. And again, I think those type of things are kind of catching people off guard. So we'll end it there. I'm going to be back on Friday. Unless there's something important that goes on, we could do something in interim, but otherwise we'll be back on Friday. Thank you for listening. Good luck out there, and we'll be back on Friday. Goodbye.